Everyone, it's Lisa with Whispers from the Wreckage. First of all, let me thank you for coming and showing love on our first podcast episode. So excited. Let's get into it. Why did I decide to start a podcast? Well, I have spent 30 years going through crazy experiences and hard times and a blessed but difficult life. And if my story can help one single person out in the world not hurt themselves or help them get through it or whatever it is, if my story can just play just a piece in making you feel better, then it was all worth it to me. I've always wanted to write a book about things I've been through and events that happened in my life. And I might get there one day, but I'm going to start off with my podcast. And the goal of the podcast is just for it to be a small stepping stone in creating this platform that will help and provide a safe place for people to come and tell their story and explain their life in a way that makes them feel safe. I went through a horrible breakup last year, and we'll get to that. It'll be a whole episode. It might be a few episodes, but it'll be a whole episode. And I almost flipped my car because of the actions of the other person. And when I was going through this breakup, I was so alone and so sad, but there was nobody to talk to, because you talk to your family or your friends. Actually, my family wasn't around during the actual breakup, but you talk to your friends and you talk to people you feel safe with, and they like to say you'll get over it, you'll get through it. It's just a tough time. It's a bad time. And, sometimes that's just not what you need to hear. You need a place to explain it, to break it down, to understand why. Like, how can somebody who you loved so much destroy you so much? And yes, right now that's the part I'm talking about, the relationship. But as a kid, I was sexually abused and physically abused and emotionally abused. And then I had no one to talk to, nobody who understood, nobody to stick up for me. And it's scary. It's scary. And as an adult, I know I became stronger because of what I've gone through. But as a kid, you're like, well, who's supposed to help me? Who's supposed to make me feel better? Who's supposed to come to my rescue? Why is my abuser getting rescued? Why is my friends and family not on my side? And that's how I felt growing up. And that's how I felt as a early adult. Meaning like in my 20s. And honestly, I didn't realize how much of my traumas followed me in my relationships, and how much of what I saw as a kid just follow me in my life in negative ways until this past relationship where it got bad. It got really bad. The breakup was horrible, and I started counseling because of the breakup. And I've previously started counseling, and that's a whole nother story, and I'll get into it about why it never worked out for me. But I started counseling, and I found my voice. I started counseling with this one lady, and she was like a yes ma'am type of counselor. I was like, I don't need that. Like, I don't need another person in my life to just and okay me. I need somebody who's strict, who's going to help me get through it, who's going to help me process everything I've been through in my whole entire life and make me a better person in the end. And I stuck up for myself, and I got the therapist I'm with now, and she's absolutely amazing. And I'm not healed. I'm not whole. I have a long journey. It's only been about a year now. But I want to show you guys this process. I want to show you you're not alone. I want to show you that there's good and bad with the good. But if you keep trying and you keep going, the good comes. The good over trumps all the bad. And this platform that I'm working on building will be that safe place for anybody. I mean, anybody's open to the age of, 7 nowadays up until 122. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what your trauma was. When I'm saying healing, it doesn't have to be abuse like I've been through. It doesn't have to be just relationship wise. There's people in my life who are healing from pain. And as somebody who's currently going through an experience where I'm in pain 24/7, it makes me understand where some of the things I'll talk about during these podcast episodes, I can understand why they went the route they've done. And it stinks that I've had to experience it to understand it, but there's no other way. There's no other way. You could hear their stories and you could say, well, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? But until you experience it yourself, it is a different feeling. It is a different thought process. So I have a seat next to me that you can't see in the video, but I want to invite people onto the show and let everybody hear your story. There'll be a link in the bio, in the description, where you can fill out a Google form. We could get in touch and we could arrange it. There's healing from many different things, and I want to hear it, and I want the world to hear it, because healing's not just a simple thing, and it's not a short journey. I'll be healing for the rest of my life. So sorry. Eventually these will be live. For the first couple, we've decided that the best thing to do is to pre-record and drop it while you guys are just getting to know us. Come and join us. Every Sunday I'll drop at 4 p.m. My podcast will be going live. I'm hoping to stay at the same time. We're going to play with some timing and see what works best. But that's the goal of Whispers from the Wreckage. And let's talk about where Whispers from the Wreckage came from. I had a few titles and different things to name it, different names that I was going to use. Whispers from the Wreckage, and I'll make an episode on all of the ones that were an option I didn't go with. And I chose Whispers from the Wreckage out of all of them because a lot of times it's the whispers asking for help through all the pain, through all the wreck, through all of the mess and chaos. It's the whispers that nobody hears. So Whispers from the Wreckage just made sense. And I'll go deeper into the meaning on a different episode. But I think for the most part, that's all I really wanted to do on this first episode, was just allow you to get to know me, get to know a little bit about my backstory, get to know why I chose a podcast and why Whispers from the Wreckage. On these podcasts, I'm going to do a little segment, if you will, of the Substance game. If you haven't heard of it, it's a great game to really go do with somebody else. But I'm going to read it. I'm going to give my answer, and then I hope that you guys will respond in the comments section, your response. Eventually, when I start having a co-host or just a visitor on the show or guest on the show, they'll also be listening to it or responding to it as well. But I'll start off for the first week. The game has 3 different type of cards. So it's vulnerable, I'm not going to say the second word because it's inappropriate, and intimacy. I have mixed them all up, so I don't know which one's which. I'm going to pick at random every single week. And this week's will be vulnerable. It says, what's an apology you never got to give? And now this speaks volumes for a lot of reasons, and there's a lot of apologies that I wish I got the chance to give, and I didn't. But the one that sticks out is to my grandmother. She unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago now, and I would apologize for not being there during the last few weeks she lived. And I'd apologize for always making an excuse on why I can't come to the hospital, why I couldn't come see her. It was dumb excuses, it was dumb reasonings, and it could have been that I knew somewhat that she would go. And the lady raised me. You know, she's one of the reasons I am as strong as I am today. And seeing her that way just hurt in a way I wasn't ready to feel. And, you know, you always think you have time. You always think it's okay if I don't get there right now. You know, I'll go see her tomorrow. Or I'll go see her tomorrow. I'm tired. I work today. I'm gonna go see her tomorrow. And then tomorrow just never comes. And I got a call late at night from my aunt, and I was like, something's wrong. And at this point, my father and my grandma were both in the hospital or on their way, or like both of them were having issues. My grandma was in the hospital, then in rehab, and then my dad was in the hospital, rehab, and then home before we thought he was ready. So I remember in her voice, she's just like, you know what this call is about? And I was like, kind of, but not really. Is it daddy or grandma? She said, it's grandma. And I said, is everything okay? She said, no, she passed. And just the numbness that went over my body. So the apology would be to my grandma. And every day I pray to her and I say, I hope I'm making you proud down here. And save me a seat up there. Anyways, hopefully this doesn't happen on every episode. But that is the point of the episode, to show that being vulnerable is, or point of the podcast, to show that being vulnerable is okay. And yeah, the internet's a very scary place. And I'm opening myself up for the internet to be a scary place. But I want to provide this network and provide this unity and provide this platform where anybody can feel safe to come and talk and connect with other people who have gone through the same thing, who is going through the same thing, who just to see how they got through it. And because it was never there for me. It was never an option. And so that's the point of Whispers from the Wreckage. So, on that note, make sure you're following and you turn on your notifications so that you get notified when the next podcast drops. I won't be making you wait a whole week this week. I'll be dropping today, and then I'll drop again tomorrow, same time. So you'll get 2 episodes this week, and then 1 a week going forward. Make sure you're following us on all social media platforms. We are active on all of them. You'll see clips. You'll see different ways on how I cope, different methods on how to cope. There's surprise things on all the different social media. So make sure you follow us on all of them. You can look us up by Whispers from the Wreckage, or you can look us up by WTW podcast, WFTW podcast. And I can't wait to see you guys again tomorrow, and then to see this community just build. And again, if you'd love to be a guest on the show, fill out the Google form down below, and soon you'll see merch come out. I have collabed with a clothing brand, so we have merch coming out. There's a lot of exciting things coming, and this platform will just continue to grow, and I'm so excited to be the creator and be able to help anybody and everybody that just needs it. All right. And that's all. Thank you guys. I can't wait to see you next week.